Hello, welcome to today's video. I don't get much chance to ride out in the day, in the week these days, but I've got that chance today. It's a Friday, it's cloudy, a tad windy. It's not cold though. I put a new winter top on and I'm a bit warm. So today, I'd like to get your opinion on podcasts. Let's talk podcasts. They seem to be all the rage in many circles. So I'm interested in a couple of things. First off, cycling podcasts. What are you listening to? Do you listen to them? Secondly, other podcasts. General podcasts, comedy, sport, business. What do you listen to? What's good? What do you like about them? I'm interested to know. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you listen to. Leaves are pretty much all gone, haven't they? I like the shape of that last tree. Always admired that one. So basically, as far as cycling podcasts go, I kind of dip in and out of them. There's no one that I listen to religiously. I dip in and out of Geraint Thomas. I've enjoyed some of them, other times I just find them a bit annoying. I quite like the single track magazine podcasts, specific mountain bike content in the main. But again, I don't listen all the time. I listen odd ones. Non-cycling podcasts, Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO, the Dragon's Den guy, you know him. It's huge. He makes over £1 million a year from that, you know. But I quite like the different people that he has on there. They have some really interesting stories. Again, I can find Stephen Bartlett a tad annoying at times when it becomes slightly about him more so than the guest. But overall, it's a really good podcast. I particularly enjoyed the one when he had Professor Green on. That was really good. The other one I listen to a lot is the High Performance podcast. Jake Humphries is mainly, but not exclusively, sports people. If you're into Formula One, the one with Toto Wolff, really good. Really enjoyed that one. On other subjects, I quite like the newscast from the BBC. It's on the BBC Sounds app daily. Because it's an offshoot of BBC News, obviously it's quite political, but a different take on the news, and that could be quite entertaining, quite different. News reported in a different way. More to do with my day job and business stuff. An acquaintance of mine, Tony Brooks, does a podcast for Leadership Mindset. Check that one out. He interviews different business people, particularly about management, about leadership, and he interviews some really interesting people. That's a good one to listen to. Tony actually lives in the village where my old coffee shop was. And we had actually known each other for quite a while before that came out in the course of conversation that he lived in the village. I sometimes listen to podcasts when I'm out on my bike, and in the main I listen to them maybe before I go to sleep quite frequently. I generally listen on my phone, so this was quite interesting. I was reading an article just the other day that something like 80% of podcasts are listened to on the phone or in the car. On the phone or in the car, that was the other one. And what is the optimum length? It seems quite a few people listen to them either on their phone or in the car when they're commuting to and from work. I get that, it's a good chance to listen. So over recent months I've actually become quite fascinated by different podcasts. Some short, some longer, some quite entertaining, some quite serious, some full of knowledge, some motivational. I've been listening to an interesting mix, and as I say, become quite fascinated. So I would be really interested to know, is it just me? So I would be really interested to know what kind of things my viewers listen to. something I've had sitting in the back of my mind for a while has been, should I do a podcast? I'd be interested to know your thoughts. It's a while since I've been this way. In other news, I have an annoyance. My Cadence sensor keeps burning out batteries. It kind of eats them. They only seem to be lasting a month. I change a battery, it's fine, absolutely fine. All works, only for maybe a month, 6 weeks. Don't know why. It's very annoying. At first I thought it was possibly a bad batch of batteries or just duff batteries, but bought some new ones and yeah, no different, just the same. It's very annoying. It's only a cheapy Chinese one, but it's been on for a couple of years and worked absolutely fine. But just recently, the last 6 months, 5 months, it's just rubbish. Might have to buy another one. Has anybody else had this? The reason I have to have one of those and not one that's fixed to the pedal, let me show you. You can see just there, the clearance on the checkpoint is very, very limited. To get the clearance for the tyre, obviously everything's shoved out and there's very little clearance. So the Wahoo or other brands where the cadence sensor sits on the crank just won't fit. They just don't clear it, which is a tad annoying. So essentially that older kind of technology of a separate sensor and little arm is all you can actually use. No, Wahoo do one, don't they? Wahoo Blue, I think it's called. But they're quite expensive and not all that easy to find. Might try one more battery from another fresh batch, see how long that lasts. If that don't last, maybe I should buy the Wahoo one. So let me know about your podcasts that you listen to, if any. I'll drop some links below to a couple of those that I've mentioned. Oh yeah, one more, Chris Hall. Chris Hall's Zero Lemon podcast. That's quite a good listen. Anyway, thanks again as always for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you again in a few days' time, maybe a week's time. Bye for now.